Hello and welcome to the Daly Hyundai Winter Trace Race League round number 4. We are live on the TUZ YouTube channel and also WinMac PC's Facebook page. Again, if you're watching, please subscribe to the TUZ YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. Last time I checked, we were up to 115 subscribers, so keep it going. Round number 4 is on London Classique circuit and is 4 laps with a total distance of 32 kilometres. Last week we had a few issues, missing the start of the D race and also saying D riders had stayed away and won was also wrong. So hopefully this week we go hiccup free. In my defence, I was following Swift Power live, which was telling me D riders had stayed away. Ivan Cook got the win, but what actually happened was the C riders made the catch and the C riders got the win. So last week's winners, Gregory Gout, North Down, Gary Scott, Phoenix, and Kieran Donnelly, who I also think is Phoenix from a bit of Facebook stalking. I'm joined again by Fiona Kelly and the boss man, Ross Blaney. Are you guys there?
Hello.
Hi, Mark. How's it going?
Great. How are yous?
Good, not too bad.
Good.
Hanging together, just about making it in time.
Yeah, I think everybody's had a busy day, so
stressed.
Happy to be here.
Very much so. London tonight, guys. So it's a great course. Do you want to do the details in the course, Mark?
Details.
Or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mark's like, no, that wasn't planned.
Okay, guys. Tonight we're in the London Classique course. Great circuit. This is one of the first races on Zwift I actually rode about 4 years ago, and it's still to this day, it's probably one of my favourite courses. The London Course Classic route takes you along some of the most famous roads in London streets, including the Strand, the Mall, Constitution Hill, and the Birdcage Walk. You ride by Trafalgar Square and Buckingham Palace as well, and the finish line of the race is right on the Mall. So it's a big red road, so you'll be able to see it every lap as the riders fly by. The course tonight is 33 kilometres in distance. It's 5 laps of the circuit, and it only has an elevation gain of about 133 metres. So it's one for the fat boys tonight, or sorry, the one for the heavier riders with big wattage, I should be saying. So the skinny climbers will really struggle tonight, I think. So there'll be big power numbers tonight seen on the screen.
Great. So I'm just trying to flick across here to Swift Power, and so far we have 18 on the naughty list again. Are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah.
Talk away amongst yourselves.
18. Now, I'm not seeing any names that I know here.
I think a lot of guys are obviously new to the Swift Power and haven't got a clue how the rules of Swift racing work. So a wee tip is basically, if you're not too sure, try and Google the rules first of Swift categories. If you're not too sure, you've never raced before, don't just expect to jump into the D, because you may find yourself being quite strong in Swift itself, but it could be a different ballgame out on the road. Obviously, there's guys riding in A category who aren't fantastic out on the road, but because they are very light and got a very high watts per kilo, you are a lot better in Swift within the game.
Very well explained. So overall standings, who's covering that? Fiona, did you say?
I can do that. So we can start off. Actually, I have the A's up in front of me on the screen tonight, so I'll start with them rather than the girls. Sorry, ladies, I will get to you. So in number 1 in the A category, we have Seth Dunwoody. He's on 270 points. In second place, Lindsay Watson on 260 points. In third place, Peter McLean on 255 points as well. So then if we hop over to, let me find the B's. God, this is way better than when Ross does results. So first for the B category, we have Eamon Rafferty. He is on 270 points as well. He is followed in second place by Rodney Young. He's on 260 points. And then in third place, there's Stephen Edmondson on 245 points. So within the A's and the B's, there's not really that many points separating them. And then likewise with the C's, actually on this one, my screenshot has the points cut off. So sorry, guys. On first place, it's Gregory Gout from North Down. No surprise there. He's been going really, really well. Followed in second place by Gary Scott from Phoenix. And then in third place, Adam Ward from whatever BWCC is. Don't ask
Ban
me.
Whalers. Ban Whalers.
There we go. Well done, Ban Whalers. Good job. And giving a big shout out as well to Rick Hanna as well there, who's in 4th place. So I'll just chuck that in.
Good old Rick.
Well, he's the one who sent me the screenshots, so I think he should at least get a shout out.
Yeah, he deserves.
No,
he really does deserve a shout out, because all these graphics that everyone sees on the screen, Rick does all these. So yeah, great job.
Yeah,
exactly.
The team competition, guys. Leading the A competition is the mighty RCC team at the moment. It's very, very close. Just behind them in Ballymena Road Club, and then North Down in 3rd. So Ards have 502 points versus 484 points to Ballymena. So it's very, very close. In the B category, Carn Whalers are leading with 495 points. In 2nd place, the Mid-Ulster Cycling Clan at 391 points. And then we've got Ban Whalers also in 385 points. C category out in front, North Down CC. Yo! Ban Whalers in 2nd with 513 points. And Lega Curry, Rick Hanna's team, in 500 points as well, just behind in 3rd. And in D category, here we go again. Breffni Whalers. Is that how you pronounce it? I'll get it right one of these weeks.
Breffin, I think.
Breffin Whalers.
Sorry,
they're leading, so they are. So it's all very, very close in the team competitions as well.
Perfect. And Ross, you jumped in there before I got to the ladies, so calm down with your team competition.
Oh, sorry.
I know. Yeah. Always jumping ahead of the girls, so you are. Okay, so we have no female A rider, so any ladies out there who are racing A's, please get involved. We'd love to see you race. In B category, we have Claire Richardson coming first on 105 points, followed by Meta Johnson in 2nd. In the C category, we have Zoe Lindsay as well, still leading after 3 rounds on 162 points, followed in 2nd place by June McMinn. And then in the D category, we have, I believe it is Kim Campbell leading on 174 points and Nikki Alexander on 50 points as well. So lots still to play for there within the women's category. And as I was saying, please, any Lady A riders out there, get involved. It's so good to see you racing. And also, there's nobody leading the ladies A category, so you could be in a chance at winning a jersey there as well.
Turn up and ride at least 6 rounds and you could win a jersey.
Winning.
Okay, the Ds have now started, so we're following D riders for now.
Following Rand Fagan there from North Down CC.
Just happened to click on his name.
That was a setup. We always have to give Ryan a shout out. As well tonight, another shout out. As we're always saying, we're looking for people to get in contact with us. So send us messages, let us know who's racing, good, bad, whatever you want to tell us about them. We'll report it, maybe keep it not so bad. In terms of a big shout out as well tonight is to Mark's wife, Jodie. It is her birthday. So not only was she sick last week and let Mark off to go do commentary, tonight's her birthday.
Yeah.
And he's still out doing this as well. So I have been informed he's given a very good present. Lots of cake and cupcakes. We have yet to see that though ourselves. Myself and Ross were promised some and we haven't got any.
You live too far away, sorry.
He could have just been organised and sent it down so he could have been included, but no, that's all right. So look, Jodie, happy birthday and thank you so much for lending us Mark again.
We interesting stat about the D category tonight. The overall leaders in the league, Shane Morrison, Marty Lynch and Eddie Sheridan. The top 3 overall in the league. I was looking at the stats last night and there's Swift Power. All 3 of them are on the border of turning C category.
Ooh,
which means if they go over the limits tonight and get upgraded, our new leader in the C category overall will be Mr. Ryan Fagan of North Down Cycling Club.
I mean, I'd be delighted at that one, but guys, if you're listening, that's some good advice by Ross. So maybe do a little bit of sandbagging tonight and don't go over that.
Don't be encouraging the sandbaggers. We're littered with them as it is.
To be promoted is only a good thing, right?
No, we shout out in the D category tonight with a friend of Rick Hanna's, Tom Healy from Lega Curry's racing tonight. I found out a funny little story about him. They were over in Italy a few years ago and he climbed halfway up the Stelvio Pass before he had to get a lift up in the car the rest of the way to the top.
He sounds like a friend of mine. I approve of that.
So at the minute, what the riders are doing, they're going underground for the underground tunnel. There's about a 5.5 kilometer lead in until they actually get to the circuit. So there's one climb at the end of this long straight road. There's one climb, hangs a right. It goes up to about 5 or 6%. That's probably the first part on this course. So it'll be a bit of a shake-up. So the stronger riders will push ahead on the hill, and the weaker riders will be hanging on by the skin of their teeth before they actually hit the circuit. And then it's 5 laps once they hit the mile.
The good news is it's not the longest hill in the world, though. So I think if you come around the corner with enough speed, accelerate before you get into the hill, that carries you at least halfway up it, and then just suffer for another couple 100 meters, and you're at the top. And once again, it's flat, so it's not the worst out there.
Yeah, very true. It's they say, like Fiona says, if you accelerate into the hill, it does take you about halfway up the hill. And what I normally do, if you're riding the trainer difficulty up around 50%, 75%, where you feel that resistance kicking in, you can feel the hill biting against you. I normally knock it down a gear in this sort of type of hill and get out of the saddle and just push on for another 15, 20 seconds out of the saddle, just to hold that high wattage. So you hold a really good high watts per kilo all the way up the short hill. You get to the top, sit back down, knock it back into one easier gear, and get the cadence back up.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. Although I had a horrible experience out on the road myself this weekend where my gear cable snapped. So I felt like I was literally just constantly riding out the saddle in the big ring, big gear, and couldn't change. I was like, this is a disaster. Why am I not on the peninsula? I was going up a hill in Wicklow, so it was not fun.
Oh, sure. I've had that happen in a race years ago. It was actually the Tour of Ards. A lot of guys remember that race around the Ards Peninsula. My gear cable snapped first time up Mountain Road, and had to ride the second time up it in a 42.12, and the whole way from Portaferry back to the finish in a 52.12, 42.12 in the headwind, which was great fun.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Still got a top 10, but
that must have been a long time ago, Ross.
Was many kilograms ago. I mean, still. Or wait. Okay, the B riders have just left the pen now, so they have.
We'll flick over to the B's here.
We are following Mr. Tony Callahan from Ban Wheelers at the moment. And you can see the start as they push off. It's big wattage getting pushed out here. First 5 minutes of any Zwift race is going to be the same. It's just flat out from the gun.
We have quite a few good riders in the B category tonight. So once again, Gareth McBride from North Down Cycling, he is racing B category. He's such a strong rider. I would say in no time we'll see him up in the A's. There's also Jake Rushaby, who is riding in the B's tonight. So also I think probably Mark Rushaby, his dad, is racing B category as well. But Jake is going really, really well at the moment. He's one of those poor college students who is trapped at home, unable to attend college. So I think he's getting lots of training in, and in very short space of time has gone up from C category to B's and is doing incredibly well. So keep an eye out for him tonight in the B category.
You're just following the C category at the moment. There's a little bit of a rise here before they drop down and head under the underground tunnel here. Just try and move to the front of the group.
Yep.
See who's doing all the damage at the front of the C race.
I'm going to transition over to C's.
In the C category, I do actually want to give a shout out tonight to Marcus Cromie. And it's really funny who you meet through Zwift riding. So Marcus, I think, has been doing the league with us from the start. But actually, I was in another group ride on Monday, and this chat appeared on the screen, which I didn't know you could even do while you were riding. But it was like, hello, Fiona, your commentary is going well. I was just like, hello, how are you? What is this? But actually he gave me a lead out on the final sprint and got me the sprint jersey in the race as well. So hey, you make friends through this as well. So good luck tonight, Marcus. I said I'd give you a big shout out for all your help as well.
They're just about to go into this underground tunnel now. Yep. If you haven't made the front group after that short hill, groups can start forming here. You can see a couple of riders, and I think they're just going off the front at the minute.
Yeah, they look to be just sort of freewheeling there now, so they're maybe just working their way back into the bunch.
A few strong riders at the front pushing along. Big high wattage, so I hope these guys aren't sandbaggers. Don't really recognise any of the names at the moment here.
Yeah, we have June McMinn who's racing in the C's as well. So obviously June, we say every week, is a really, really strong cyclist. Although, I mean, this is her second session of the day because I saw that she was on Zwift earlier. So she obviously, is finding the C category a bit too easy that she's able to get 2 training sessions in a day before doing this race. Very impressed, June.
A few other riders to mention in the C category this week. Last week's winner, Ivan Cook from Team Madigan, recently upgraded after last week's race. So he's in the C category, dipping his toes tonight. So good luck to Ivan tonight.
Yeah, he had a very strong race last week as well. So definitely well deserved with that promotion there as well.
We've got Colin Shields in the C category tonight as well. Colin rides for Crossgar CC. He's also quite a good triathlete himself, and he owns the Athelos Triathlon store in Downpatrick. So anybody down that neck of the woods into triathlon or bikes, give Colin a shout. Tell him I said hi. You might even get a discount.
Shout out to all triathletes trying to be roadies. Well done. Good job. I feel your pain.
The chat's very quiet. There's not really much happening on Facebook unless I'm missing something here. YouTube, shout out to all the cycling lads and to Ivan Cook from Simon Kennedy. Peter McLean, at Lindsay Watson, hoping you will close this gap for the lads. Does that mean you don't want to do anything, Peter? Yeah.
That's full sandbagging.
he's gonna set in and try and sprint at the end, but we all know Pete can't sprint, so.
Well, if anybody can close the gap, it's definitely Lindsay Watson anyway. So probably a good man to rely on to do that.
Definitely.
I was watching the Cycling Ireland race on Saturday, and it was absolutely brutal. And I think Lindsay Watson was just like literally closing down every breakaway that happened there. It was. I felt sick watching it for them. So fair play to the lads. That was definitely one of the toughest races I've seen.
Yep. So we're following Chris Cameron here in the C's. Well, C Cameron, it has to be Chris.
Good man.
Normally a mountain biker, so good to see him floating around here. He's obviously heard me talking about him because he's just shooting off the front now.
I have a message coming in through, and before I forget it, I'm just going to give it a shout out as well. So, I mean, Pedro McBride, is that even your first name? But anyway,
that's Peter.
He said, okay, Peter, that makes more sense. He said to give Ryan McBride, age 10, a shout out. Yep. He's doing his first race in the D category tonight. So, Ryan, good luck. That is incredible. I'm so impressed by all these junior riders because I really don't know how you guys do it. So, another thing that I would say is if anybody is on Instagram, tag us in your posts and we will get that up as well. So let's see your suffering as well.
Yeah, Ryan McBride, great wee rider, good at the cyclocross. He's Banbridge CC. Knows I'll die well.
There you go. Well done, Pedro. Thanks for the shout out. I'm sticking with Pedro.
Another mention for a rider in the C category tonight, Dougie Lenny from North Down CC, also one of the members of the TUZ admin crew, help organise all these races. He's actually doing a ride on a Sunday morning now, if anybody fancies it. It's done in the meetup, so he normally posts the comments, a wee message on the TUZ Facebook page, Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. If you want to go along, stick a message on below just saying you want to join. He'll send you an invite. It's normally about an hour and a half. Nice steady pace, done at a set pace, and then it does a bit of an after part at the end. The last 10 kilometers is done as a bit of a fun race, so it is. So if you want to join, come along and join Dougie and myself on a Sunday morning.
Yep,
rode it the last 2 weeks. Rode it the last 2 weeks, and it's a great crack. So it is.
Yeah, I have seen that coming up as well. So it sounds like a good after party, and also if anybody's seen the weather forecast for this weekend, get involved because I don't think anybody's going outside.
Yeah, snow today, lots of times. So I'm absolutely freezing.
Just the A riders are off, so I'm with them at the moment. So I think I'll just stick with them if you want to jump about between the C's and B's there, Mark.
Yeah, we're just floating on Gregory Gout here at the minute, so I'll transition over to you, Ross, for the start of the A's.
We're just following Darnell Moore at the moment in the middle of the group. They are about to hit the first climb on the circuit.
Yeah, a wee bit of info on Darnell. So everybody knows Darnell. National Under-23 road race champion and second overall. That was in 2018. National Hill Climb champion 2017 and 2018. Cyclocross national champ 2018 and Ulster road race champ in also 2018. So 2018 seemed to be Darnell's year.
Darnell, if you're listening, you were the one person that Mark has actually researched tonight, so that's that's why you're getting all this information given on you.
Yeah.
He was incredibly proud of his work here. I was like,
yeah,
Mark. I mean, I think everyone knows Darnell Moore is going really, really well.
Yeah.
So,
because I remember Ross mentioning his name last weekend, and there wasn't a big pile of info, so I thought we'd give him a shout out this week.
Well done, Mark. We're really impressed with your researching tonight.
I know another notable name in the A category tonight, I think this is his first TUZ race as well, is Darren Rafferty. He's one of the best juniors in Ireland the last season. Very, very strong time trial performances, so one to watch for the future. But I think he's also Irish cyclocross champion, Irish time trial champion.
Yep.
And he's been riding a couple of the team time trial events with the Dig Deep coaching crew of Stephen Gallagher and Dan Fleeman, one of the top Swifters in the world at the moment. So he's obviously some pup if he can still hang with them too.
I need to know how you guys are getting all this information. Ross tells me this is Facebook stalking, but I feel really, really creepy adding people sending random friend requests to people on Facebook. So if I've been doing that, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to keep up with these two. Another shout out as well is for Paul MacArthur of North Down Cycling Club. Paul said, could we give him a shout out tonight? He's trying to say that he's a lowly A category. I don't buy that for a second. Paul MacArthur is an incredibly strong rider. I always say my first race was actually when I got thrown into the Masters category, and I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, but actually Paul dropped me on the first hill. So that just shows he's incredibly strong. So Paul, good luck tonight, and I expect you to probably be in the top few there as well, finishing.
Just looking at the time gaps tonight, it looks like the A group are really starting to eat in. It's only a minute between them and the B group tonight because it is such a flat, fast course and not many hills they make up any time on. So I just see the A's have caught a handful of B riders already. So the time gaps tonight, the D's are off first. There's a 5-minute gap to the C's. There's a 2-minute gap to the B's from the C. And then there's only a 1-minute gap between the A and B. So it should come all down together tonight for a really exciting finish on the mile here. This is the mile here. There's a little green line, 200 meters to go. And then you've got the huge big board above the finish line here. So it's a great finish. It's slightly downhill, but you can just go a little bit early in this sprint and run out of legs very quickly.
So I'm looking at Swift Power now. Last week it was a disaster, so I'm not sure how accurate this is, but according to Swift Power, there's 3 minutes and 19 seconds between the D leader and the lead of the C's. And the C's are working very well together here. They're grouped up. Nobody's shooting off the front. They're working well, closing these gaps.
I think we need to be way nicer to ourselves. I watched the Cycling Ireland race and they even got the finish line, so the finish wrong. So, they have all the equipment. We're just guessing half the time anyway, so I don't think we're that bad.
I'm basically just a guy in a shed in the back garden.
He really is.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Another notable rider tonight to watch out for in the sprint finish. I've raced against this guy many years ago. John Neal from the East Antrim Harriers team, which I think he's more of a runner these days than he is a bike rider. But back 20 years ago when we were racing, we were a bit younger, he was also a very, very good A rider on the road. He was always had a notorious fast finish. So this finish on the mile tonight could sit John down to the ground. So keep an eye out for that name tonight as well.
When they come from a running background, they're going to be good. Those guys are fit.
Saying nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, cyclists, it's so true.
Yeah. And
actually, somebody commented on the Facebook page tonight that I don't know what category he's racing in, and I also blown away by this time, but Tommy Hughes, who apparently is over 60, is racing tonight. I think he is an ex-Olympian, correct me if I'm wrong, and he has like a personal best of a 2 hour and 30 minutes marathon. With that type of time, that's so incredibly impressive, and even if he's over 60, he's beating probably everybody at running, so well done. And I must try find out what category he's riding in tonight. Probably the A's.
I don't know what's happened. I've just lost Swift altogether. Oh, here we go. That's us now, back. Panicking.
Technical, then banker.
Distract.
So shout outs. I have one shout out here. Shout out to West Tyrone representation, Termon, Oma, and Caldwell Cycles.
You're just listing everyone there, aren't you?
Yeah, he just went for it there.
Okay. What about your mom? Add that to the list as well.
Just watching the A category here on my screen, they've just caught a large group of B riders. I've seen the B riders. There was Drew McKinley in there from Uri Wheelers, Pierce McCurley from VC Glendale. So them guys are going to be having to up the pace big time to jump in with the faster moving A group here.
There's definitely quite a few B riders who will be able to jump in with the A's. There's Alan Patterson, who is racing, who is from Ard Cycling Club. He's an incredibly strong cyclist. And I'd say without a bother, he'll be able to tag on to the back of the A's and keep up with them.
Yeah, big shout out to Philip Morrison from Ballymena Road Club tonight as well. He's recently upgraded from B to A category, so he's obviously got some good legs. So good luck tonight.
That is a horrible category to be upgraded to. I feel sorry for him.
You need to be going really well. I'm just following Rick Topping from the Bike House. Give little Rick a shout. He's always the first man on, having a wee cry because he got dropped or something. So we'll give you a bit of screen time tonight, Rick, before you get dropped. Hopefully you're not tonight. You'll be able to suck in.
Any sign of our Glenn, Ross?
Yes, he's floating about there somewhere, seeing his name.
I've seen Barry's name there on the entry list as well. See how he's getting on in the A's. This is second day race.
Yeah, Richard Barry, is it?
No, Barry Greer.
Oh, I'm talking about somebody else.
Yeah, Richard Barry. He's a big name actually in the Cycling Ireland race.
Yeah, so it's good to see him joining in. But I suppose it's probably a good practice race for him between Richard Barry, Lindsay Watson, and a couple of the lads as well. It's probably like a battle all over again on a Wednesday before they get to Saturday. So good training for you.
You just see the A group have hit the small climb on the circuit here. There's a few power-ups being launched as well. It's starting to stretch out. They've also caught another big handful of C riders as well, so they're cutting right through the bunches tonight very quickly.
I'm still with the C's here. They're all bunched up, working well.
They're just about to hit the mile, so they are. As you hit the mile as well, this is probably the perfect opportunity to get a little bit of respite during the race. It's the only bit of the course that's slightly downhill. A lot of guys make the mistake of trying to push and get near the front. But if you just, glass crank it as such, I say glass crank it, you can only drop it off about 20 watts below your threshold, really. Yeah. But you do get a little bit of recovery coming down this hill into the finish line. As the road veers to the right a little bit, you need to put the power back on again, or you will go out the back.
Yeah, that's one of the rules that I've never really understood, that like when you're going down the hill that you don't quite have to work just as hard. But I always panic and I'm just still trying to smash it as hard as I can. So I must try get that bit of advice from you, Ross. I can't even figure out what screen we're following right now. Boys, what are we on?
We're on the A's.
We're on the A's, all right. Okay, we're following Darren Rafferty here. I mentioned him earlier, so obviously a very strong rider. There's Mr. Kenning there. We're following Glenn now.
I'd say that. He's back up the front again. Was he on another rest week this week?
No, he's been working hard apparently.
Oh, has he? He's just about to catch big Jerry Hervern. He's 3 seconds ahead of him here. So that must be Jerry there with a thumb above his head. Looks like he's a bit of an afro haircut tonight. So Jerry, up, get on the ways quickly. Glenn's just come past you.
I think from the last, the sprint thing was coming up on my screen there, and I think Glenn was one of the fastest on the sprint. Actually, this time around, I think he's been replaced by somebody else. So, but I think on the first lap, he was number one on the sprint course.
Yeah,
and he's back up the front.
Just see the A riders have bunched up a little bit here on this downhill section, so they're just holding back. You can't really make much time up on the downhill itself, so you're better trying to get a bit of recovery in this section here, and then put all your power down on the rest of the circuit.
So do you want to stick with A's or transition over to C's? C's are just bunched up, riding.
Yeah, well, stick with A's here for the minute because they seem to be making quite a bit of inroad into all the teams.
Yeah.
Are you able to see what the time gap is between the groups at the moment?
I'll tell you what Swift Power is telling me.
Whether it's accurate or not, we don't know.
2 minutes 39 between C's and D's.
Okay.
There's only a handful of seconds. In fact, I've got it here on the screen. It's 16 seconds between the main B group and the A group now. So the A group are flying tonight.
Yeah. Flat course. You'd expect it.
Flat course. Very much so, yeah. Oh, I've just seen my, what do you call it? I didn't think he was going to make an appearance, but my boss is riding tonight. So a big ride out the Big Slim. Give him a quick jump on to him here. Here we're following him now on the screen.
Big Slim.
Big Slim. Didn't know he was racing tonight.
B rider as well. Strong enough.
Oh, he is strong. Yeah, definitely is.
Well,
what bike
to
tonight?
Ross's boss, we couldn't get through to Ross all day, so we was working far too hard because we needed a couple of screenshots off him, and he wasn't there. So if on a Wednesday you could let him bunk off a little bit early, that would be great.
So the A group are only 9 seconds behind this group with Paul in it at the minute. His name's Paul McMinn, by the way, not Big Slim. He likes a cake or two.
Big Slim now. Are you talking about yourself or about Paul?
Oh, in fact, tell a lie. Looks like he's just been dropped. There's a wee group of B riders in front of him.
He obviously got distracted. We'll blame Ross for that one.
So it looks like he's riding a Specialized S-Works bike here. He has a Specialized S-Works SL6 in real life as well, so he does. So it's good to see he has a proper bike that he's riding in real life on Zwift. But he's picked the absolute wrong wheels for the race tonight. Very shallow wheels. You're better if it's a deep sections on in this flat circuit. The bikes do make a big difference in Zwift, believe it or not. There's Gareth McBride as well, just on the front of his group.
Making an attack first as well. No, he's being caught there as well.
Yep, here comes the A group now, just about to catch them.
That was quick.
There's only 5 seconds between this wee group now with Big Slim and the front of the A group.
I'm still with the C, so we're about 22 seconds off the last D rider.
There's not really much in it. No, I reckon that from where you are with the C's, they're on the bottom of the hill at the moment, to the A group, there would be a minute and a half in it at the very most.
Yeah, so Swift Power's telling me... Hold on, I see. It actually hasn't updated me yet.
In terms of predictions tonight, who do we think is going to be the first group to the finish line?
A group.
Has to be A's.
A group. 100% tonight, A group. I'd put my sausage roll in the morning on it.
I really hope Ross is wrong now.
Could you imagine him starving to the lunchtime?
Lunchtime? 10 o'clock's bad enough, never mind lunchtime.
No, he probably has break in between like breakfast and lunch anyway, so we won't feel too bad for him.
Well, Swift Power's not giving me any time gaps here, so...
Just looking back on the A group, it looks like there's a lot of B's and some strong C's mixed in with the A's here, so the bunch is tending to stay together now.
Swift Power's telling me our race leader at the minute is Ryan McBride.
From the D group, still
the D group, yeah.
But yeah, there are quite a few strong C riders. So there's Stephen Green, Gillian Orr as well from North Down. Gillian is a very strong female cyclist there as well, so great to see her racing. Stephen Cardy as well from North Down. Norman Wilson from North Down. I mean, I think North Down is taking over the C category in general, but hey, that's okay.
Another shout out to the C category. There's a rider called Darren Tapp riding from the Mallard Flyers team. Darren raced years ago in the early 90s, quite well, quite high up in the 90s mountain bike scene over in England. He's originally from England. He's now living down in County Fermanagh, very much into the gravel scene. If you want to giggle, have a look at his Instagram. He's called @DazTheCyclist. Go and give him a follow on Instagram.
Yeah, he is the king of gravel. I know Darren well. I've been down there a few times with him.
So you look, this A group really are on fire tonight. They're catching up with the B's. There's literally the main C group isn't very far ahead of them either here.
And for Paul MacArthur saying that, he hasn't been going that well. He was still putting out 5.1 watts per kg there a minute ago. So Paul, you can try tell me that you're down the 8 category, but I'm not believing you.
So you can see we're following Paul MacArthur here at the moment. He's on a Cervelo S5 with Zip 808 wheels, so he's picked a good choice of bike for tonight.
Ross, I've one for you. Ian, the best cycling Blaney. Tell Ross he owes me a coffee and a bun as he bought his last Saturday in an actual cycle. Were you on the tarmac?
I was on Saturday. I was. had to take it easy on him because he's not very fit.
Excuse me, do not talk about your dad like that. That man is an absolute gentleman. Ian, don't mind him. We'll cut Ross off, and definitely he owes you a coffee and a bun. We'll get on that.
Also, no word of Lindsay Watson. Are you there, Lindsay? I'm not seeing any.
He's still here. He's still here.
Oh, he's commented on the Facebook thing there. Yeah.
Here's Amanda Watts now. I'm following Ronan Bloomer from Mid-Ulster Cycling in the B category. The A's have caught him, but he seems to be sitting quite comfortably with the A's here. They're just about to catch another big, large group of C's. You can see in the green ahead there. Go through the finish banner as well. This guy coming from a running background, he's going by Swift Power stats and his past results. He has a very, very strong sprint. And I reckon there's not many guys in the A category could get around this guy tonight if it comes down to the finish.
Them guys can't be too far off the race I'm watching here. Just trying to get time. I can't get time gaps at all here.
We have a comment in from June McMinn saying she lost connection, so she's gutted that she's not racing. June, it's all right. There's next week, then there's the week after. Plenty of races going on here. You'll be okay.
Yeah, we're halfway through, aren't we? This is round 4 out of 8.
It is indeed, yes.
Halfway through. Flip me.
Everyone's going to be very relieved when they don't have to listen to us on a Wednesday evening anymore.
You know, what are we going to do? Ross, you're going to have to think of something else.
If you just look at the course at the minute, it goes up and does a U-turn at the end of this and comes back on itself. I can't see many groups in front here.
This C group I am following, they're going to be caught very soon because they're riding at the opposite side of the road now. The MAs.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. I can see is now. Yes, there's not even a minute and hit the guys, so it's very, very close here.
And with the A's and the B's, there seems to be a bit of a mix in between them as well. So
24 seconds, guys. 24 seconds of the official time gap.
That's not very much. Lindsay Watson out the front of the A group. No surprise there. Did we say he was able to comment in tonight? Or
he is. He's commented on Facebook, yeah. He says he's here.
Oh, good, Lindsay. We were worried about you. Get on to the YouTube ones so I can actually see where you're commenting.
We're following you on screen, Lindsay, so get up to the front there and do a bit of hurting.
Ideally, just go for some mad breakaway if you can hear us right now and just, stretch
looks
the
like he's riding a Ridley Noah fast bike here at the moment. He's just in between. What wheels has he got on? Oh, he hasn't got the deep sections on, so he's losing a few watts there. Look, he's just up the pace.
There you go, Lindsay. That's the boy. I believe he probably has scribe wheels on there, but yeah, they're pretty good. Of course, he's dropping everyone. There you go. That's it. Hold that until the end now. You'll be grand.
Oh, he's bought it. Oh, he's put it back up again.
That's brilliant. I'm looking forward to seeing the reaction of the other A riders as they actually now have to go chase him down. The panic as everyone sees Lindsay Watson ride away from a group, and they're like, "Do we go for it, or is he just going to come back?" I wouldn't let him go if I were you.
We just see the gap's down to 18 seconds now to the C group at the front. I see Chris Cameron's name's in this C group, so this must be the front of the C's, just in front of the A riders at the moment.
Yeah, I'm following Zoe Lindsay here. She was at the front there. They're just catching some D riders.
Zoe Lindsay is going really, really well. 4.2 watts, even higher there as well. So she's definitely improving week by week, and obviously heading up the C category for the women as well.
I just see, looking at this A group at the minute, there's a good mixture of B riders in here. Probably the strongest B riders in the league are still here as well. The A's will struggle to shake the B riders tonight because there isn't any real hills. So on the flat, the B riders are strong enough to sit in the draft and get towed around by the A's. So they're just about to reach the hill here. There's a hard left-hand corner here, and the hill picks up. It only goes up to about
2%.
4 or 5%. It goes up more than that when you hit the steep bit. About 4 or 5% the most.
No, you're not on the steep hill yet there, Ross.
Yeah, the A's are just literally on your back wheels here. There's 4 seconds in it, guys.
That wasn't long.
Let's see if there's any attacks up the hill here. Just following Pete McLean here from our cycling club.
Sure, he's sandbagging tonight, apparently.
Oh, he's going to the front.
He's heard us talking about him.
He's heard us. Look, he's went to the front. They're just cutting through the C riders here.
That's right. Lindsay's gone into the red figures.
Oh, yes,
as well,
look, they're right through. Clean through. I'm a Pete now.
I think they just know to accelerate when they're coming up to these type of groups as well, that you need to put in a bit of a big acceleration to put through and not get stuck in the sticky draft,
you
as they
can
call
see
it.
Pete's put the big effort in. The trick to this course here, it's not all the damage is done on the hill, it's done on the 1 minute after the hill, where it does flatten off. A lot of guys get to the top of the hill and then sit down and sort of try and recover straight away. But if you're a smart swifter and keep the hammer down for another minute and a half, you can really do some damage in this circuit.
Yeah. Ross, I've transitioned over.
Yep. So
So
Watson, you or me?
me at the minute.
Okay, cool.
I think we've got a slightly better picture. That's the only reason of.
Yeah, that's fine. Keep it there because this is the front of the race now.
Yeah.
There's nobody in front anymore.
No, so we're still with Pete.
And Darnell Moore as well there in second place.
We'll give Darnell some there.
Well. Go on, Mark, do your little spiel again on Darnell.
Oh, no, he's had enough. That's him.
You sure?
He's had enough, yeah.
Okay.
Going by the, looks like on the Swift Companion app, there's only one rider ahead of this group at the minute in the D category. But I checked him out. He's a Dutch fella, but he's a sandbagger. He shouldn't be in the D category. So forget about him. This is the front of the race, guys.
Yeah, just you keep following as well, Ross, in case I have a technical.
Yeah, I'm staying in the front of the group here.
Over.
I enjoy that we're basically discounting anybody who is from outside Ireland and calling them sandbaggers every week.
It is a local league at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're not invited here.
So there's only roughly around 10Ks to go.
That would be about 2 laps then. 2 laps to go once we go through this banner.
Yeah,
so they're coming up to the sprint again here, aren't they?
Yeah, this is sprint. This is also the finish banner, obviously. It's a hard one to judge. In Swift, if you're a strong sprinter, you can go from around the 300-meter out. If you're not so strong, obviously 200, but you need to have a real fast kick on you to go from that short in a Swift race. This course, I've ridden races in the past where guys have jumped from about 1 kilometer out and have held on. So it's a hard one to time this sprint, so it is, because it is downhill and flattens out very slightly as you get to the line.
That's brave. I think my furthest to sprint on this one has been 400 meters out from the end, and I was busted anyway.
You just notice, guys, it's a D group here. They've just caught their front of the race. This is front of the D race. They're just going through them in the blue now.
There is a B rider mixed in with the A category as well.
Yeah, there's loads of Bs. There's loads of Bs mixed in here. It's a big group.
Yeah,
I'm actually just trying to catch their name.
Alan Patterson as well. So from our cycling club, I had a feeling when I saw him coming up on the A's coming up on him that he would be well capable of holding on to the A's and staying with them. He is a very strong cyclist. So without a doubt, most of these A riders he would be cycling with anyways. So no bother to him.
Just following Glenn now here too. Heart rate's only at 150, so he's cruising.
He's comfortable.
He's very comfortable, all right.
I think you're saying he's slacking.
He's saving himself for the finish.
Another mention in the B group tonight. I'm not too sure he's in this front group at the minute. A rider called Andrew Irwin. Apparently, he's very handy on a motorbike. He's a current British superbike rider, but he's not on Swift Power, so it'll probably not count in these results.
Oh no.
We'll have to get him on Swift Power. This is a strong group here, guys. There's quite a few names, very strong names from the local scene. The Thomas Crichton in here, former Irish junior cyclocross champion.
Yep, another good rider, good lad.
John Neal, Lindsay Watson, Seth Dunwoody, who's won the last 2 rounds. It's interesting to see how he goes. Darnell Moore, Kevin Lynch, Stuart Miller, Richard Topping from the Bike House, Nathan Mullen from Dramara, not Donegal, Glenn Kinning, Ronan Bloomer, obviously a B rider, but he's still up here. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. Jorko Torkov, or what he pronounced it, from Holland in the front group. Jared Fitzgerald from was VC Glendale, now VC Ride4 now. I've forgotten. There's that many names. Eamon Rafferty, who's winning the B category overall, he's in this front group.
Yeah, I think Big Fitzy's with Caldwell Cycles now.
That's the one. I knew it was one of them ones.
Lindsay Watson back on the front anyway, so you never know. There could be another attack coming up here.
Yeah, he's never far away.
Really isn't. But actually, it's quite interesting to see because we've mentioned, that Zwift racing isn't quite the same as road racing as well. So I think to probably get a rider who's good both on the road and on Zwift is quite a unique thing as well. And Lindsay seems to do well on both, so he obviously knows this game well.
Yeah, it does take a wee while to get used to because it's just not the same at all.
Yeah, very true.
I think after 3 or 4 rides, you sort of know what you're doing.
Yeah, it does tend to favour the lighter riders. Somebody hit the nail on the head the other day. I was noticing one of the comments. They said a 50 kilogram lady wouldn't be able to sit in a bunch at 30 miles an hour on a carriageway in real life in a proper race scenario with ACAT riders, but on Zwift they can. So they hit the nail on the head basically with that one.
I'm trying to actually remember who said that.
I can't remember.
But it is true though as well, because you get put into the A category and you think that you can race against all of these guys, but then as soon as you go out in the road and they drop you, you're like, I don't understand what's happened. I beat you last weekend. So you learn the hard way that Zwift is definitely different to riding on the road with these guys.
I just seen Darnell Moores try to push off the front here in this front group. He's sitting at 6.5, 7 watts per kilo. Lindsay Watson's jumped, tried to get onto his wheel here. He's just brought him back.
No surprise. Yeah, a couple of red numbers going on there on screen. Red or orange? Maybe I'm colorblind. I don't know.
Orange, it looks like. I think when you go above 7.5 watts per kilo, the watts per kilo turn orange. Although that's a big effort, so that's why the color change.
These guys are just riding through.
Come on, guys, do something exciting.
I know.
You're just, cruising along here.
Once everybody's made the catch and it's flat, there's not really a big deal you can talk about.
Yeah, it's just been. Well, I'm just watching that. Obviously, I'm following Darnell Moore here. He's made a bit of an effort on the hill. He sat up right at the top, but the guys reacted to him and went after him, but they kept pushing.
Yeah.
And he's actually went out the back a little bit here, and he's putting big wattage out to get back into the group.
I can't actually see him on the screen to follow.
That's a bit of a beginner's error there from Zwifting, basically.
He obviously wasn't listening to your advice earlier.
He's strong, so he's back up in the group, not a problem. He's near the middle of the front here again, so.
But I mean, even there's a couple of things to translate across the road as well. So even when you're out road racing and you get to the top of the hill, you always want to make sure that you're keeping up the pace there at the top to try drop a couple of guys who've been suffering but have hung on to your back wheel when you're going up the hill as well.
Well, bike selection in Zwift's also a big one as well. A course like this where it's flat and not any hills worth talking about, you're better getting one of the faster bikes in game. Obviously, the Tron bike's one of the quick ones, but I think the fastest bike in game is a Specialized Venge. And wheel choice makes a big difference as well. The quickest combination is a Specialized Venge with a Zwift 808 front wheel and the SIP rear disc wheel. Obviously, you can't use disc wheels in real life, but you can on Zwift, which is quite nice.
I did not know that the Tron bike was
Aero.
not the fastest bike. What did I bother going up Alpe d'Huez for so many times? Why did nobody tell me this sooner?
And if you're going to climb, obviously, a hill like Alpe d'Huez, you're better changing your bike to a bike with obviously shallow wheels, which are light. I think the Specialized Tarmac is still the quickest bike up Alpe d'Huez as well at the moment. I could be wrong. There's been a few bike updates as well. But the way it works in Zwift, the more you ride, the more sweat drops you earn. The more money you create in game, not real money, obviously, but then you can buy better equipment, better bikes, better wheels. And it does make a little bit of a difference. On some of the circuits, the Watopia Figure 8, I've seen a few tests being done. You're given a standard Zwift bike when you first join. It's just a white bike with rubbish wheels, basically. But one of the better bikes can be up to about a minute 40 quicker over a 50-minute circuit.
There we go.
I never realized this was even a thing until I rode the jungle loop last week, and I changed to the mountain bike before the race started. And my friend who was riding with me, so we were both probably the same level of cyclist, and she was there putting out massive numbers to try to stay with me while I was just like cruising on the mountain bike. So yeah, it's interesting to see kind of the difference in bike selection there as well. So probably always worthwhile reading up on that there.
Yeah, just noticed the guys are on their final lap here, so there isn't very far to go, only a handful of kilometers, and we'll be hitting the finish line very soon.
Yeah, we're just with Thomas Creighton here.
Just got a comment then saying that Pete McLean's heart rate monitor's dropped out. He's going to get DQ'd. LOL. Unlucky.
That's his excuse anyway.
Yep. It's looking like this will probably come down to a sprint finish for the bunch anyway. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out number one here.
It's going to be a full-on sprint. It's going to be hard to do a bit of clicking to see who's where.
There's not far to go. Already. We're within the final 3 kilometers here of the race. There's one hill to go, so there could be some action on the final hill. It would take a very, very strong rider, the attack on the hill, keep it going and stay away right to the finish.
Glenn's having a wee dig here.
He's going for it anyway.
There we go. He's got a second.
So do we think he can hold it until the end? What do we think?
Is S. Miller chasing him?
Stuart Miller from Ard Cycling Club.
A good man on the hills as well.
Yeah, they're coming back. Unlucky Glenn.
He's still pushing. He's doing 4,500 watts.
He's on the right bike anyway. Canyon Aero bike, big wheels.
He seems to knock their back a little bit here. He's not got much of a gap, so he's just clutching at straws, really. I'd be sitting up long ago if it was me.
I mean, Glenn, you only have 3K. Just keep going. I have faith in you.
They're coming back to him now.
He could find himself going south on this next hill after that big effort. With Zwift, it's not the same as outside. You cannot recover as quick because it's such a fast pace, especially on this circuit.
True.
So look out for a few attacks in this final hill. They got to the top of this road, they hang a left, and the hill starts about 100, 200 meters after the corner. It's not far. You can go to the saddle, and you're up it in about 20 seconds. But you need to put big power down to get up it.
And 2B riders are still in with the mix here as well, so they're going quite well.
I just got a message come through in the live feed. Ronan, one of the top sprint and the 8B riders, has just had a dropout, so he's been dropped as well, unfortunately. Out of this front group. That's unfortunate for him. Get your internet hardwired.
Don't take internet advice from Ross, though, to be fair.
Right, I'm sticking with Lindsay Watson. I reckon that's the man for the win tonight.
Lindsay could be a man for an attack here. Maybe hear this and put a dig in. Give us something to watch.
Don't go yet.
Lindsay going up this hill. Well, not too far. There's, what is it, 2K out? Did you say it was 33K in total?
This is the hill just about to kick in now, this monument on the right. And you see the power-up starting to be launched. The feather power-up takes about 25 pounds off your overall body weight in game, but it only lasts for 15 seconds.
There's a few feathers on the go, is right.
So you see Lindsay's up there. Pete's up there. There's nothing really. There's a real high tempo. They're starting to lap riders already, which is some going in this circuit. They're 5.5 kilometers ahead of these riders after making up a handicap at the same time.
Not long now, under a K, isn't it?
Yeah, not far to go, just over a K. It's really stretching out now. There's big numbers being thrown down. 400 plus watts from Pete McLean at the moment, just following the wheels.
So much for being tired.
Kevin Lynch up here, Seth Dunwoody, all the big hitters who've been hitting the results the last couple of weeks in the race.
Yeah. Darren Rafferty's still there as well. What is total distance? 33.2, wasn't it?
33.2.
Aye,
so with the red banner, that's 1 kilometer to go. Doesn't look like there's going to be any attacks at the minute. They're all saving it for the sprint.
No, sitting patiently. And probably the best way to do it.
It's just 1K to go.
1K to go, guys. Final sprint here coming up. I don't see any riders riding the disc wheel tonight, so that's probably a mistake. Again, the disc wheel, it's one of them ones you can't just buy it. You have to earn it. So you have to obviously move up. There's levels in Zwift. There's 50 levels. I've been on about 4 years, and I'm only up to level 40. So I think the disc wheel is available from about 30 onwards.
Jeez, that's impressive.
So we're about to hit the red road here. 600, 700 meters to go. Look out for the red number.
Lindsay's in the red.
That is brave. Yeah, a good few red numbers coming up on the screen at the moment.
I'm even afraid to click on someone here.
Power-ups been launched. Aero power-ups. I'm following Seth Dunwoody. He's in second place. Oh, who's it going to be?
It looks
Seth
like
Dunwoody. Yep.
Seth Dunwoody.
Dunwoody.
3 wins in a row.
Dunwoody, Coleman, and Lindsay Watson, I think, top 3.
Some sprint.
Yeah.
Unreal for such a young lad.
Yeah. He got the win in the A's last week, didn't he?
He did indeed, yeah.
Yeah, she can.
And the week before.
Yeah, I think it's been every week, has it not?
These older guys are going to be looking at themselves. What am I going to do about this kid?
To be fair, he timed that perfectly.
Yeah.
He did indeed. That was impressive now. Yeah. Went from about 300 meters out, which is obviously needed.
I was trying to see where Glenn ended up there. I never got the chance to see.
Well done, Glenn.
It takes a few minutes for Zwift Power to update the results. But it'll be interesting to see what the time gaps were, because the A's were on fire tonight. Really were.
Like I'm looking at Zwift Power right now, and it's still telling me Ryan McBride is winning in the D group.
Yeah, it takes a while for it to really.
Yeah, so you can't obviously follow that.
That was another great race tonight, guys.
Yeah, very fast tonight.
Super fast. I couldn't believe how quick the A's made into that handicap, because went through the hot knife through butter.
You have the handicap sorted now, Ross?
Well, you'll probably get complaints.
Actually, complaints every week. They can learn all they want. How's
the results looking? Have you anything before we go?
No, they're still not updating here. It's very slow.
Paul MacArthur has said, "Feck, Paul, we think you did great. Don't you worry about it." I think that last sprint just got you, did it?
So I think this week went way better than what last week did. We followed the winner with no hiccups.
We've seen the finish.
We're good. We got the finish. Yep.
Next week's course, we are in New York for the Park Perimeter Loop.
That is a tough route as well, because it's quite rolly, isn't it?
It is. It's very rolly. It's got one substantial hill on it and will make a difference. Last time I rode a race there, it was just bodies all over the place. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It's quite a long lap, so it will be interesting to see how it goes on that circuit. Zwift Power, we're not going to get a result for another few minutes here, so I think we'll just call it a night, guys.
We'll update it on the Facebook page and just comment when we know what the story is there. But yeah, these things are a bit slow to come through.
Okay, that's us done. Over and out.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.